that?
Effectively, yeah, and I guess even to deconstruct it to the next level of detail as well. That the idea is that for these fast-growing businesses, and even these, whatever the field is, but we'll start with business. For these fast-growing companies that are really growing at an astronomical clip, the first tenet of the idea is that in order to become a generational company or to become wildly successful, there will come a point where you have a breakout moment. For some people, that's very early and they just break out immediately and then they go astronomically clear. For some, it builds over time, but there is a point at which they go exponential and then they go vertical and then they just really do. Exactly, there's an inflection point and that's when they really, really do, explode. And what the expectation treadmill does is it starts to really unpack what happens after that. So, and I think OpenAI is actually a perfect example where you've gone from 0 to 900 million users in 2 or 3 years, and so however you want to look at it, that growth curve is astronomical. And what other people start to do, and this book frames it from the lens of an investor. What other people start to do is they start to impose expectations on you. So even with public businesses, you see you have analyst estimates, right? They're estimating what's the price target, what are they thinking that you will achieve, and it does apply to private companies as well. And so what they're looking at with OpenAI is they're basically saying, all right, they got to 900 million in a couple of years. How quick to get to 1 billion? How quick to get to 2 billion? And what the theory effectively does is it says, no matter how successful, no matter how fast growing, no matter how quality the venture is, there will come a point where the expectations exceed what the actuals are going to do and what they actually do. And what it then does is it kind of dissects what happens at the point when you hit the end of that expectations treadmill and you're now scrambling and you're now going to fall off. And I think what that usually inevitably leads to is a correction of some kind. Either you have a down round on the valuation, or some investors want to pull out. Effectively, it does mean that the value and the price is going to reduce because you finally met the point at which there's now a question as to whether your actuals will meet the expectations. I think that OpenAI has, maybe a victim of their own success to an extent, but I think they have reached that point where they are at that expectations treadmill now. And because they wanted to hit 1 billion and they only hit 900 million, I think they're going to run into some short-term headwinds. Maybe it delays the IPO, maybe it stops them being able to attract some of the top talent that they want to attract for a very, very short period of time. But what I am sure of is that